Kayaking. What a wonderful way to enjoy the river. We'll paddle with the owner of Susquehanna Kayak and Canoe Rentals. Hello everyone, I'm Don Jacobs and I'm here at Plainsville Flats. Now this is a relatively brand new kayak launch and we're gonna go wild with DiscoverNEPA on the Susquehanna River. Now Art Coolbaugh with Susquehanna Kayak and Canoes invited us along to celebrate the river, talk about Riverfest.
So you want your knees slightly bent but not sticking out of the boat too far. You want to be comfortable. That feel good?
Good.
Okay. So a little difference. A lot of people that have kayak lakes think they've done a lot on the lake, but moving water is totally different than flat water lake paddling. What that means is, we might be coming up under one of the bridge abutments, so you've got to be careful there's no debris there. You want to give yourself enough room because as you're moving and that water's pushing you, it's pushing you closer to that debris. So we'll give ourselves enough room. In paddling, we'll have a lead boat, maybe myself and Emily might be our sweep boat, and we just ask that everybody stay between us for safety reasons, okay? Well, Don, this is our 20th year in business, so we've been doing this a few years, and I've seen dramatic changes up and down the valley here with the water quality, the environmental impact that organizations are having on the river, so we're proud to be part of it.
So if somebody says, I don't know anything about it, but I want to enjoy a day on the river, how do they get started?
Yeah, so we have online reservations, which they can do that, and that'll say, hey, meet us at such and such a place or at our shop at a certain time. We take you from there to where you want to go, depending on how many miles you want to go for the day, how many hours you want to be out there, and then we come pick you up and bring you back up to your car.
Kayaking in general, the popularity of it is exploding.
Crazy. Yeah, it's gone from, I started out with 15 kayaks, I think, in one shop, and now I have 3 shops and about 100 kayaks.
Wow.
Yeah, so
wow.
It's really gone.
Do you limit the ages of people that can travel with you?
We don't limit ages. People ask me that all the time, how old do you have to be? But our requirement is you have to be able to swim. So I have a lot of people who want to bring their little children out, whether it be on one of the lakes or here. And as long as they can swim, I'm okay with it. Of course, they got to wear their life vests. Anybody 12 and under have to wear life vests. But they've got to be able to swim. So no really age, but swimming is a must. Today, we couldn't have picked really a better day. It's going to be sunshine, beautiful. We see numerous eagles up and down the river, of course, ducks and geese. So all kind of wildlife, but particularly here to the valley, there's a lot of history here. Knox Mine disaster just north of us a few miles here. And as we go wind down through the valley here, there's so much history here to kind of take in while you're out on the water.
Part of the fun is getting out on an island and getting wet.
For sure. We stop. We have a lunch a lot of times on an island, do a little swimming, of course, fishing. So yeah, there's an enjoyable day out there. I really started because I was a small business, a restaurant owner, and I started trying to drive more business to my restaurant with the kayaking. And then, COVID hit. I don't have my restaurant anymore, but I try to support local businesses. So we do things with Susquehanna Brewing Company and Bartlett Winery and all kind of local businesses that we kind of, partner up on.
Riverfest right around the corner.
Riverfest, the big one, coming up the last weekend in June.
And you supply some of the kayaks for that, right?
We do supply the kayaks for that. We're doing a lot of fun things this year with it. We're incorporating it into the America 250. So we have t-shirts with the logo from the Market Street Bridge, the eagles there. They're going to be made. Every paddler gets a free t-shirt. New this year, we're going to offer a red, white, and blue kayak, 12-foot angler by perception, and anybody who signs up for a river trip, we're going to raffle that off at the event. So during Riverfest, this being our 32nd year, we've now paddled 3 days. So we try to appeal to everybody. So Friday night, we have a shorter trip that runs from West Pittston down to Nesbitt Park. And I often encourage that for families. It's a little bit shorter. If your children don't have a long attention span, it might be a good time to take them out. Saturday is our longest trip. Which actually ends at Nesbitt Park as well when all the festivities are going on. So that starts in Harding. We stop in West Pittston for a break, and that's about 7 miles in, and then we finish at Nesbitt Park, and that's the day all the outdoor activities are going on actually in the park. And then Sunday we do our final trip. That runs from Nesbitt Park down to Hunlocks Creek, and we go through the Nanticoke Rapids, which is always a fun trip, and we do encourage people who have some experience to go on that trip. We don't take canoes, we don't take tandems, we just take single paddlers because that can be a pretty fun trip down through there. So that's our 3 days of paddling. All of it can be registered on my website, 𝗏𝗪𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 or riverfrontparks committee website will direct you to my website to register.
And sadly, they say all good things must come to an end. We had a beautiful ride on the Susquehanna River. We're ending here in Nesbitt Park. That's where Riverfest ends. Art, thank you very much for supplying us such a beautiful day, and good luck this canoeing and kayaking season. Now, for this episode of Go Wild with Discover NEPA and all of the other episodes, you can go to discovernepa.com or subscribe on YouTube.